We may have a big pattern change ahead of us. I want to get into the next 7 to 10 days. We've got a lot of cold air moving out east still, and a few clipper systems. We may get more snow down into the south, but then as we move into next week, things start to change. Some more warm air out into the east, maybe some severe weather out east, and then we get some cold air and snow potentially moving through the Rockies, through the central to northern plains, and maybe the upper Midwest. We'll take a look at our potential 10-day snow totals. We may see another collapse of our stratospheric polar vortex. The winds are slowing and the vortex is stretching. And our 30-day weeklies still potentially look cold for the east as an average for the month of February. We still have that westerly northwesterly flow. Could we see 3 winter months below average in a row for the east? Potentially. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And of course, if you like the video, like the video. Let's get into the weather updates. I wanted to start off by taking a look at our temperature outlook. Here's our 6 to 10 day outlook, staying cold out in the east, very far out in the east though. You see we start to warm up in the Ohio Valley, down there in portions of the southeast, and up in the Midwest as well. We get into the 8 to 14 day. Now much of the country is average to above average, except for down there in the southwest. We start to potentially get some troughing down here, and this is what could set up some nice mountain snow, some nice snow in the Rockies. And then pushing out to our 3 to 4 week outlook, this is as we're getting into the second half of February. We could be pretty cold again out east, and the latest models do support that. Let's run through the latest 7 to 10 day forecast. Here we go as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. We actually have a nice little clipper that's going to try to put some snow down into portions of Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, maybe even North Carolina. If you're lucky, maybe you get 4+ inches somewhere, but for most people, this is just going to be a dusting to an inch, inch and a half. Cold air continues to collapse out east, and as we get into Wednesday night, Thursday morning, we almost get a secondary small snowstorm behind our first one out here through portions of eastern Tennessee, Appalachia. Someone will see some nice snow showers, and maybe if you get lucky, you'll get a little accumulation. Again, we're going to go over the snow totals here in a second. Pushing through Thursday, we start to see, as we get into Thursday night, Friday morning, a pretty nice clipper system moving down here through the Great Lakes region. This is going to push out towards the coast too and try to put a little bit of a dusting out there towards the mid-Atlantic and New England coast. Maybe 1, 2, 3 inches if enough of this moisture makes it over the Appalachian mountain range. But for portions of Ohio, western Pennsylvania, upstate New York, maybe even West Virginia, the mountains here, we could get a decent amount of snow. Again, we're going to go over snow totals here in a second. Getting into late Friday, that's when that snow could make it out towards the mid-Atlantic and New England coast, and into Saturday morning, maybe even some snow down there in western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, down in Appalachia. We could get a little bit of snow accumulating there as we get into Friday night, Saturday morning. Now let's push through Saturday into Sunday. Still cold air moving out east. This is kind of new. This just kind of popped up. We'll see if our Bear Clinic boundary wants to suddenly produce a storm like this. I'm not seeing this across all of the models yet. This is over 120 hours out. But again, we have warmer air down here. We have our polar jet bringing some colder air down. There's going to be a temperature gradient here. I do think there's going to be a little bit of moisture. Will we see this big of a snowstorm? I'm not so sure about that. I'll get into the details of this potentially happening in my next video once we start to see potentially some more model consensus. But if this did happen, I mean, you pretty much have over a span of 6 days, 3 straight chances for snow through the Ohio Valley and then through portions of potentially the Carolinas, Tennessee, Virginia out there towards the coast. So pretty interesting. All right, pushing into early next week, we start to see kind of a ridge building up over the plains. Now we do see maybe another storm up here. Again, this is just where we're having that polar jet interact with warmer air from the south. So maybe a storm up here, maybe a snowstorm, ice, a little bit of rain up here for portions of the upper Midwest. But what I'm watching as we get into early next week, Monday night into Tuesday morning, looks like the time frame right now is this cold air collapsing out west. This is a flip. We're going to get some warm air pushing out east, and suddenly we could have a storm pushing through the Rockies and headed out towards the northern plains and upper Midwest. This could be a significant snow system, and it could be followed by another one here, as you're going to see. But we're warmer out east, maybe some rain out east as we get into the beginning and middle of next week. But again, collapsing cold air and snow out west. We move forward. Now we're getting about 10 days out, so I don't want to go too far, but you're going to see the opportunity for another snowstorm out west. You see all of this energy really just flying in off the Pacific here, and we do actually have some cooler temperatures finally trying to dig into the west. This is a different pattern than we've been seeing for a while. I do expect a thaw out over the Ohio Valley and out east, maybe lasting 7 to 10 days, but I do think as we get into the 3rd, 4th week of February, that cold air transitions back out east. But again, this time frame, as we get into next week, west, watch out. I know a lot of you are waiting for snow. It's been a horrible season. It's been above average temperatures as well. Below average temperatures, snow looks like it's on the way. Here's looking out about 10 days. We're going to start out east here. Maybe some good snow through portions of Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, West Virginia, western PA, as you can see here, northern Kentucky. This is a result of 1, 2, 3 clippers back to back to back. I don't think we're going to see this much snow. I think this is overdoing it a little bit. Definitely at the higher elevations, clippers love to get stuck in the mountains and dump a lot more snow than expected. We'll have to see how much snow we get kind of in the lowlands out here and how much makes it out to the coast. Again, there's potentially multiple opportunities here. You can see if I pull this back, this is basically all within 7 days. Portions of Michigan, inner New England, and Maine are doing good as well. We take a look at our national blend blend here, and you can see it takes away a lot of the snow out of Illinois and Indiana. And that's where I do think some of our models may be overdoing it. Again, I know a lot of people are excited maybe for a little bit more snow in North Carolina. Maybe some want the snow to go away, but some of my friends and family have been excited for maybe a little bit more snow out there. I think that's going to be a little bit tough. Maybe if you get lucky, a ½ inch to an inch, northern part of North Carolina there. Pushing out towards the central US, really not much expected. You can see the national blend here. Although as we get into the middle of next week, you can see our chances are starting to go up here. I do think we're going to get some sort of storm riding up that trough here, right along that eastern ridge. And then taking a look out west, the mountains look to do good next week. Now, we're still talking 150 plus hours, but there's some good model agreement that we're finally going to get some good snow back into the Rockies, southern, central, and northern. Also, Sierra Nevada and the Cascades, you're looking good as well. Taking a look at our temperature anomalies over the next 7 to 10 days. Again, look at out east as we move through this week and into the weekend. A lot of cold air sticking around. We get into next week. Here comes that warm air. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, pushing back out east. And this is when some cool air tries to creep in here. And this is where we can get a big storm forming. We've got that temperature gradient. We've got that southwesterly flow. So snow into the Rockies, snow up through the northern plains, maybe even the central plains up into the Midwest is definitely a possibility as we get into the middle towards the end of next week. Let's watch this area closely. And then we push out further into next weekend. And it looks like everyone's warming up. Now, if I were to push further here, I'd actually expect some pretty cool energy to begin diving down in from the northwest. You can see we're starting to get a lot of cold air pooling up here. I do expect this to make its way down into the states. It almost looks inevitable now. Our stratospheric polar vortex is stretching and it wants to split. What does this mean? Well, 2 to 3 weeks from now, we could see some serious impacts from this. This cold air takes a while to get down to the mid latitudes. Again, we're not talking the tropospheric polar vortex. We're talking the stratospheric polar vortex. So I'd watch what happens the second half of February here, as likely this cold air from that stratospheric polar vortex tries to punch down into the mid latitudes. Now, I've been hearing all over that winter's over for the plains and out east. We're going to get this thaw and things are going to warm up and we're going to transition into spring. Well, I'm not going to go through all of the models right now, but I took a look at the extended Canadian, GFS, and European. They all still show a northwesterly flow on average for the next 30 days. So this right here is your GFS extended ensemble. You take a look at the European weeklies moving out 30 days. This is our 500 millibar height anomaly. This to me doesn't look like we're going to be scorching hot out east for the month of February. If anything, we could see another month of below average temperatures definitely out here along the East Coast, maybe up there in New England. And analogs right now are pointing towards a very cold March as well for the East. I mean, it would be incredible to see 3-4 months straight with below average temperatures. This would go down as one of the coldest, I think, winters out east in quite a while, if not 30, 40 plus years. But again, if we just got a quick cool down in the second week of February out west and we got this ridge to return, and then that March analog ended up being correct. I don't want that for the west. I want some cooler air out there. I want you guys to get some good snow. We'll see what happens. I don't make the weather. I'm just here to report it. By the way, in case you were wondering, here is the forecast for our stratospheric polar vortex winds. Now, if this blue line does end up going beneath this line right here, well, that is a reversal of the winds. That is a major, major, major break. Even if we drop down close to that line, these winds are slowing around the stratospheric polar vortex. Those winds act as a barrier or sort of force field to hold in the coldest air on the planet in the stratosphere above the North Pole. Once they slow too much, which typically happens from some higher heights, some warmer anomalies pushing up into the stratosphere, well, that cold air has to go somewhere and it's out and it's down to the south, down to the mid latitudes. Like I said, there's some pretty good agreement here that this thing's collapsing. Will it be a full collapse? Will it be a wind reversal? I don't know, but it's likely to split, to collapse. Again, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you like this type of content, like I said, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I try to post videos like this every single day and live stream every single day to answer all of your weather related questions. I also run an awesome weather Discord, tons of weather enthusiasts in there. I update it every single morning with all of the stuff you see in my videos, snow maps, temperature maps, everything you want to know what's going on in the States. It's in there every morning. And that's where I let you know when I'm going live, when my videos are being posted. We got a whole mod team in there you can ask questions to. It's a good time. The link is in the description of every single one of my YouTube videos. So you can just head down there, click on the Discord link. You'll be in there, or you can add Connor's Climate Corner on Discord as well. Again, I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video or the next live stream.